Imagine a vacation, a breathtaking journey through the stunning Alaskan fjords. Picture majestic glaciers, the crisp, clean air, and the promise of adventure. Now, imagine that backdrop turning into the scene of a shocking and brutal end. This isn't fiction. This happened on a seemingly ordinary night in 2017. Aboard a cruise ship sailing through those icy waters, reality and illusion collided in the most horrifying way imaginable. What some believed to be part of a playful game, a Sherlock Holmes-themed murder mystery, quickly became a terrifying truth. This is the story of Kristy Manzanares, a vibrant woman whose life was tragically cut short, and the dark secrets that unfolded on the deck of a ship surrounded by the vast, unforgiving Alaskan wilderness. Kristy and Kenneth Manzanares seemed like any other couple embarking on a cruise, a chance to relax and reconnect. Kristy, a 39-year-old real estate agent from Utah, was known for her energetic spirit and her love for her family. Friends described her as someone who lit up a room, always smiling and ready for a laugh. Kenneth, her husband, was a 43-year-old engineer. They had been married for several years and had a blended family of children. This cruise was meant to be a celebration, a time for them and their loved ones to enjoy the beauty of Alaska together. The first few days of the cruise were filled with typical vacation joys. The passengers marveled at the towering glaciers, spotted whales breaching the surface, and participated in the ship's various activities. Among these was a Sherlock Holmes-themed murder mystery trivia event, a lighthearted game designed for entertainment. Little did anyone know that real drama, the most tragic kind, was about to unfold. On the evening of July 25th, 2017, the ship was sailing near Ketchikan, Alaska. As the night wore on, some passengers decided to retire to their cabins. Kristy and Kenneth shared a room on one of the lower decks. What happened inside that cabin remains a subject of intense scrutiny and sorrow. Around 10 p.m., a chilling sound pierced the relative calm of the ship. It was a woman's scream, sharp and filled with terror. Because of the earlier murder mystery event, some nearby passengers initially dismissed it as part of the game. However, the sheer desperation in the cries quickly made it clear that this was no performance. Alarms were raised, and ship security rushed to cabin D-726. What they found inside was a scene of unimaginable horror. Kristy Manzanares lay on the floor, covered in blood. Kenneth was also in the cabin, his hands stained red. He offered a shocking and almost unbelievable explanation. According to court documents and witness testimonies, when questioned by security officers, Kenneth Manzanares stated that he and Kristy had been arguing. He claimed that she had laughed at him and made disparaging remarks. In a fit of rage, he admitted to striking her. His initial statements painted a picture of a sudden, violent outburst. However, the full extent of the brutality Kristy endured soon became apparent. Medical examinations revealed severe blunt force trauma to her head and face. The injuries were far beyond what a single punch could inflict. The scene in the cabin suggested a prolonged and vicious attack. The ship's medical team attempted to revive Kristy, but their efforts were in vain. She was pronounced dead. The cruise, which had begun with such joy and anticipation, was now a vessel carrying unimaginable grief and a horrific crime scene. As news of the tragedy spread throughout the ship, a wave of shock and disbelief washed over the passengers and crew. The festive atmosphere evaporated, replaced by a palpable sense of fear and sadness. The Sherlock Holmes game had taken a dark, unforeseen turn, blurring the lines between fiction and reality in the most devastating way. The FBI was immediately notified as the incident occurred in international waters, granting them jurisdiction. When the ship docked in Juneau, Alaska, Kenneth Manzanares was taken into custody. The investigation that followed would reveal a troubled relationship and conflicting accounts of what led to Kristy's tragic death. During interviews with investigators, Kenneth's story began to shift. While he initially admitted to striking Kristy, he later claimed self-defense, alleging that she had attacked him first. However, this account was contradicted by the physical evidence found in the cabin and the testimonies of witnesses who heard the altercation. The investigation revealed that Kristy had expressed concerns about Kenneth's behavior in the past. Friends and family spoke of arguments and underlying tensions in their marriage. While they presented an image of a happy couple, there were hints of deeper problems simmering beneath the surface. The details that emerged from the crime scene painted a gruesome picture. Investigators found blood spatter throughout the cabin, indicating a violent struggle. Kristy's injuries were extensive, suggesting repeated blows. The idea of a single, impulsive act of violence seemed increasingly unlikely. According to court documents, after the murder, he was seen trying to move Kristy's body. When confronted by witnesses, he reportedly said she was messing with his head. This action further fueled suspicions and cast doubt on his claims of self-defense. The legal proceedings that followed were long and emotionally charged. Kenneth Manzanares was indicted on a charge of first-degree murder. The trial brought forth heartbreaking testimony from Kristy's family and friends, painting a picture of a loving mother and sister whose life was brutally stolen. The defense argued that Kenneth had acted in the heat of passion, claiming he was provoked by Kristy. However, the prosecution presented a compelling case, highlighting the severity of Kristy's injuries and Kenneth's attempts to cover up his actions. They argued that this was not a moment of uncontrolled anger, but a deliberate and brutal act of violence. The jury deliberated for several days, grappling with the conflicting narratives and the weight of the evidence. Ultimately, they found Kenneth Manzanares guilty of second-degree murder. While not the first-degree charge, it still acknowledged the senseless and violent taking of Kristy's life. In June 2022, Kenneth Manzanares was sentenced to 30 years in prison. The judge, in her sentencing remarks, emphasized the brutality of the crime and the devastating impact it had on Kristy's family and community. The tragic murder of Kristy Manzanares serves as a stark reminder that even in the most idyllic settings, darkness can be true. What began as a joyous family vacation ended in unimaginable tragedy, forever altering the lives of those who knew and loved her. The playful premise of a murder mystery became a horrifying reality, a stark contrast between illusion and the brutal truth of violence. Kristy's life was not defined by her tragic end, but by the love and light she brought into the world. Her memory lives on in the hearts of her children, her family, and her friends. While justice has been served, the pain of her absence remains a profound and lasting wound. This story is a testament to the fragility of life and the devastating consequences of violence. It compels us to remember Kristy Manzanares, not as a victim, but as a vibrant soul whose journey was cut short in the most unexpected and heartbreaking way. The aftermath of Kristy's murder sent ripples of shock and grief far beyond the confines of the cruise ship. For her family, the idyllic vacation they had envisioned transformed into a nightmare they would forever be forced to relive. The vibrant memories of shared laughter and breathtaking scenery were now tainted by the horrific image of their loved one's violent end. Kristy's parents, siblings, and children were left grappling with an unbearable loss, struggling to comprehend the senseless act that had stolen her from them. The legal proceedings, while necessary for justice, became a painful and protracted ordeal, forcing them to confront the gruesome details of her death repeatedly. Each court hearing, each piece of evidence presented, was a fresh wound, a stark reminder of the brutality she endured. The close-knit community in Utah, where Kristy lived, was also deeply affected by her death. Friends and colleagues remembered her infectious enthusiasm and her unwavering kindness. The real estate world lost a bright and dedicated professional, and her absence left a void in the lives of many who had been touched by her warmth and generosity. For the passengers and crew of the cruise ship, the experience was equally traumatic. The sense of safety and carefree enjoyment they had initially felt was shattered. Many grappled with the unsettling reality that such violence could erupt in what was supposed to be a secure and pleasurable environment. The shared experience of witnessing the unfolding tragedy created an unexpected and unwanted bond among them, a silent acknowledgement of the darkness they had collectively encountered. The Sherlock Holmes-themed murder mystery trivia, intended as a light-hearted diversion, became a chilling irony. The playful accusations and stage drama now echoed the horrifying reality that had unfolded. For some, the memory of the game would forever be intertwined with the genuine terror of that night. The investigation into Kristy's death was meticulous, involving forensic analysis of the crime scene, interviews with numerous witnesses, and a detailed examination of the couple's relationship. Investigators sought to piece together the events leading up to the murder, looking for motives and understanding the dynamics between Kristy and Kenneth. The inconsistencies in Kenneth's statements raised significant red flags. His initial admission of striking Kristy, followed by claims of self-defense and the disturbing attempt to move her body, painted a picture of someone trying to evade responsibility for his actions. The prosecution skillfully presented the evidence to the jury, highlighting the brutality of the attack and the lack of credible support for his self-defense claims. The guilty verdict brought a measure of justice for Kristy and her family, but it could never truly erase the pain of their loss. The 30-year prison sentence reflected the severity of the crime, acknowledging the profound and irreversible damage Kenneth had inflicted. In the years that followed, Kristy's memory became a source of strength and inspiration for her loved ones. They worked to keep her spirit alive, sharing stories of her kindness, her laughter, and her unwavering love for her family. They found solace in the support of their community and in cherishing the precious memories they had shared with her. The tragedy also sparked conversations about domestic violence and the importance of recognizing the signs of abuse within relationships. Kristy's story, while heartbreaking, served as a stark reminder that violence can occur in any setting, and that it often escalates from subtle tensions to devastating acts. The vast and majestic Alaskan landscape, which was meant to be the backdrop for a joyful family adventure, now carries a somber significance. The beauty of the glaciers and the wilderness serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring impact of tragedy. While the physical wounds of Kristy's murder may have healed over time, the emotional scars remain. Her absence is a constant ache in the hearts of those who loved her, a void that can never truly be filled. Yet, her legacy of love, laughter, and kindness continues to inspire and guide them. The story of Kristy Manzanares is a tragic one, a stark reminder of the darkness that can sometimes lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives. It is a story of love lost, of innocence stolen, and of the enduring power of family and memory in the face of unimaginable grief. It serves as a solemn echo in the vast silence of the Alaskan wilderness, a whisper of a life tragically cut short on a night when reality became more horrifying than any game. Years passed after the sentencing, and the world continued its relentless march forward. Yet, for Kristy's family, time seemed to possess a different quality, marked by the enduring absence of a cherished presence. Anniversaries of her death became somber milestones, each one a painful reminder of the vibrant life that was extinguished too soon. Birthdays, holidays, and everyday moments that were once filled with her laughter and warmth now carried a poignant undercurrent of what was lost. Kenneth Manzanares began his sentence within the confines of a federal correctional facility, a stark contrast to the freedom and beauty of the Alaskan cruise, where his heinous act unfolded. The years behind bars offered him the opportunity for reflection, though whether he truly confronted the gravity of his crime and the immense pain he inflicted remained a question unanswered for those who mourned Kristy. The legal avenues for appeal eventually closed, solidifying the judgment and offering a degree of finality to the protracted legal battle, though it could never truly bring Kristy back. The cruise ship, the unwitting stage for this tragedy, continued its voyages through the Alaskan waters. For some who sailed on it afterward, or who learned of its dark history, a shadow of the past might have lingered in the air. The festive atmosphere that cruise lines strive to cultivate could, for a fleeting moment, be haunted by the memory of the screams that once echoed through its corridors, a stark reminder of the fragility of security and the potential for darkness to intrude even in the most carefree of settings. The story of Kristy Manzanares became a cautionary tale, whispered within communities and discussed in hushed tones. It served as a stark illustration of how quickly joy can turn to tragedy, how violence can erupt unexpectedly, leaving behind a trail of devastation that stretches far beyond the immediate victim. It underscored the importance of recognizing potential warning signs in relationships and the need for support systems for those who may be experiencing abuse. In the realm of true crime narratives, Kristy's story became a poignant example of the human cost of anger and violence. It was a case that captured public attention not only for its shocking circumstances, the juxtaposition of a murder mystery game with a real-life tragedy, but also for the profound loss of a seemingly vibrant and loving individual. Her story served as a reminder that behind every crime statistic lies a human being with hopes, dreams, and connections to a network of loved ones. Kristy's children, forced to navigate their young lives without their mother's guidance and love, became a testament to her enduring influence. They carried her spirit within them, striving to live lives that would have made her proud. The love and support of their extended family and friends became a crucial anchor, helping them weather the storm of grief and build a future while cherishing the memories of their mother. The vastness of Alaska, the silent witness to this tragedy, continued its timeless existence. The glaciers carved their slow paths through the mountains. The eagles soared through the crisp air, and the whales breached the surface of the icy waters. The natural world remained untouched by the human drama that had unfolded on its shores, a stark contrast between the fleeting nature of human life and the enduring power of the natural world. And so, the story of Kristy Manzanares concludes not with a sense of neat resolution, for such a profound loss can never be truly resolved, but with a quiet acknowledgement of her enduring impact. Her life, though tragically short, touched many, and her memory continues to serve as a reminder of the preciousness of life and the devastating consequences of violence. The echoes of that fateful night on the Alaskan cruise may fade with time, but the love for Kristy and the lessons learned from her tragedy will continue to resonate in the hearts of those who knew her and in the wider narrative of human experience. Her story remains a solemn testament to the fragility of happiness and the enduring strength of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable loss, a quiet whisper carried on the winds that sweep across the Alaskan wilderness.